today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make an interesting multi-layered background using stuff you have in your studio, in your stash. So let's get started. So I am simply going to start by using this napkin. Now, why this napkin? I am drawn to the colors of it. I love the colors. I am not worried about the focal image. Went through my stash of collage papers, scrapbook papers, dyed coffee filters, and I'm pulling colors that go with the color scheme of the napkin. If you're not sure what color to go, find something you love and use that to jumpstart your creative process. Here I'm pulling off, these are sticker papers that I put leftover paint on and pattern. So I'm going to use those as collage papers. I've got coffee filters, tissue papers, copy printed papers, as well as the napkin. I'm just pulling things that kind of work together. So with the napkin, I'm just cutting it apart because I'm not worried about the focal image. You do have to take off those 2 excess layers. Don't forget to take them out. And I'm just ripping it because, again, I am not worried about the focal image. I am using this as the jump start to my color scheme, and there's some pattern there and color and texture that the artist of the napkin has put in that at this point in time I'm thinking might show through at the end. I don't know what's going to show through because once you start the process, the page kind of goes itself. So I'm using the whole napkin. Now this was a napkin. While I love the color scheme, the focal image was a little too light. I don't like overpainting roses. I find them really difficult, but I wanted to use what was in my stash. So here I'm using the fluid matte medium and I'm just gluing them down. I'm not worried about overlayering it. I'm just trying to cover the surface as much or as little. Now again, don't overthink this process. Just get it down, glue it down, and move on. I know I'm going to be adding more collage papers on top. I know this is simply the first layer. So look at your napkins. Do you have an abundance of them? Now here I've just pulled these collage papers. This was a gel print and it has yellow with a little bit of that green that matches perfectly. I'm just putting those in randomly. This is adding texture, layers, and will guide my next decision. I like how that yellow really pops through. It's a solid color as opposed to the more soft, muted napkin. So mixing pattern with more solids is a good plan. Now, with the sticker paper, I learned this the hard way. You want to take off the backing first and then rip. If you rip with the backing on, it's really hard to peel off that backing. So I'm just going to rip these and stick them down. And again, these are ends when I've printed off sentiments and different things on sticker paper. This was the leftover piece and I just have a stash of them. And when I have leftover paint, I colorize them. And then they make perfect, quick, easy collage papers like you see here. So again, this is more solid color, but again, the colors are coming from that napkin. And as you can see, I've covered up a lot of those roses that were the focal image of the napkin. Because my goal isn't to have a rose as the focal image. I'm not sure where the focal image is going to be right now because I don't know where this is going. I just like the colors. Now this is tissue paper that I've done some stamping with black acrylic paint. And I'm just ripping it and gluing it on top. This is giving some contrast with that black, a little bit of detail. And with the tissue paper, when you glue it down with a lot of fluid matte medium, the tissue paper goes totally translucent. So you see whatever's underneath it, but the black shows up. So no fear. And I'm just putting some of that randomly around the page. So I'm using, what did I use? I had the napkin, the yellow, the sticker paper, the tissue paper. So that's 5 different collage papers, different textures, different materials on them, and there's one more coming. So there's going to be 6 different ones. And here I've just printed off some numbers on plain copy paper, and I'm gluing that down. That's giving a little bit of white space back into the thing, as well as some numbers, texts, black print. Now, you might say at this point, "Ooh, Karen, that's just a hot mess." Well, now we're going to add to it and make this into a background by adding some paint at this point in time. At this point, I do also really dry it before I move on. So there's the background, lots of potential. I grab this stencil and I was just going to stencil on, and then I thought, I'm going to remove paint through the stencil. Now, this was covered in matte medium, so I thought it was a non-porous surface, and I would be able to take this stencil with a baby wipe and pull the paint off and get that imprint off. That's not what happened. I tried to take it off, not a lot's coming, and when I lift up the stencil, there wasn't a whole lot. It didn't work. So I grabbed the baby wipe and I tried to remove the paint, but as you can see, it didn't come up. So on to plan B. I'm just going to leave that red there. Well, I have no choice because I can't take it off. And I'm going to use that same stencil and stencil with white acrylic paint or white gesso, either or. I want some of that pattern on there. I like the pattern. Again, this is a stencil I haven't used, and we got to use what's in your stash, rediscover it, and there we have some patterning on it. Now I have one area, so now I'm going to do 2 more areas, put that red paint on, and stencil with white. So I'm giving 3 areas. Now this is really serving to push back that background and unify it at the same time. The color scheme is still the same that I got from that napkin. You can't see a whole lot of the napkin, especially from this view, but it's there. Now there was a little bit of teal on, I think, the sticker paper, and I liked how that popped with the red. And so I grabbed another stencil and I'm stenciling with teal or turquoise paint here. Just a little bit of contrast with that other color brightening. So my main colors here are yellow, the red, and the turquoise. And I'm going over multiple areas. And again, that unifies the background and makes everything work together. Did this background go the way I thought it was that I envisioned in my head? Nope, not at all. I looked through my stash of focal images. I grabbed this fairy, but she needs to be grounded. So I grab the lid, I draw a circle with my Inktense pencil, and then I am shading to make that circle kind of stand out from the background. This is how, again, you turn a background into part of a focal image or you add some interest to it. You know what? Let's do another one up here just to break up that background. Just add some interest. Oh, I'm liking that. And then, well, you know what? Things work better in 3s. So I grab this. I do one in this corner as well. I'm thinking that's really going to set off my focal image. Now, any focal image would work here. A flower, anything that you like. I just happen to grab the fairy because that's what I have in my stash. And I'm trying to use up things that I have at the ready. Now I'm just shading around the page with my black acrylic paint and my angle brush. That just frames the page, ties in with the black around the circles, I'll tie in with the black that's going to be on the sentiment that I'm going to choose in a minute. The sentiment pack that I'm working with is called Winged Wonders. Heads up, wings out. Oh, I kind of like that one. And especially I can set that in one of the circles. She can kind of be on here. There are angels among it. Well, she's a fairy, not an angel. Another angel one, that would work the size, but no, these are sentiments that I cut out. This one, if you want to fly, but with my sentiment packs, they're digital. And when you print them out, you can make them whatever size you want. So you can always have the perfect size sentiment for every page and every composition. It's one of the joys. If you want to check out my sentiment packs, you can see them and purchase them from NINNYSNAPKINS.com. Put the link in the description box below. Now I'm playing with the orientation. I could put it on this side. I could put it on the other side. I can put it in various places. And I encourage you, try different ones. Take pictures of them. You know, we all tend to go towards the same old every time. So challenge yourself to do something different. So I'm going to glue that down with fluid matte medium. I want to make the copy paper fairy into a non-porous surface. So now I am just grabbing, this is just craft paint that is flesh toned. You can mix your paints and make flesh tone that you like, but I just find it easier just to buy. I have one little container of the craft paint that I use for this. It's going to last forever. And then I don't have to worry about mixing it. So I'm just painting her out. It's a non-porous surface because I sealed it with the fluid matte medium on top. Now we're going to paint with stencil butters. Stencil butters are like modeling paste. They're thick and you can put them through stencils, but you can also paint with them. And the way you do that is to just add a little bit of water to it. And that's what I'm doing off to the side. And then I'm painting. And then you get this iridescent, pearlescent shimmer and shine that the stencil butters all have that I can add to the page. And she's a fairy. I wanted her to sparkle and shine. So you can use the stencil butters through a stencil to add texture, or you can paint with them. They're very versatile, and a little goes a long way. Then I grab brown paint and I'm painting her hair out. I would have wanted to go blonde, but there's yellow in the background, and I thought I'd lose her if I put the blonde in. So went with brown here. And then I grabbed yellow stencil butter and I'm doing her wings. Now I was going to go gold, but I wanted it to match the yellow that was in the background. So as much as I could, I matched things with what the background was. And where did I get those colors? You guessed it, that very first napkin layer. You don't see a lot of it here. It's added texture, but it gave me the color scheme and the freedom to just go for it with this particular color scheme, which I may not have picked. And when you're starting out, now I shaded a little bit here. It was a little more than I wanted on the wings. I didn't like the black. So I'm going to come in here and grab a baby wipe, get rid of that. And then I shade with a darker yellow. Posca pen around the sentiment, dot the eyes, some sketchy lines around the exterior. And that brings us to the end of the page. Got to splatter with gold because you know what? You can't have too much shimmer and shine. And there we have the finished page. We had 6 different collage papers made that background base. Then we stenciled and colorized on top of it, the perfect setting for the background. So I challenge you today, go grab some collage papers and put them together to start the background base. You never know where it's going to take you. Until next time, get creative.